Hi guys, I did this pour last week and a little shady here, but when I was done it kind of reminded me of a riverbed. And I like the colors. I really like the way it turned out, but on its own it's a little, it needs something. So I went looking online for, I googled line art koi drawings, watercolor koi drawings, things like that. And I found a lot of different things that I liked, but I like these. These were actually color, and when I printed them out, since I have a black and white laser printer, they printed out in black and white. And we'll see how this turns out. The artist, I want to give a shout out, is Kimberly Irene Hunt. And I'm actually going to, if this process works, I'm going to put her name on the side of the painting so that I can always remember who did these cool koi. And this is not for sale. I won't do anything commercial with it. It's just going to hang on the walls in my house. I couldn't find, I found all kinds of videos about how to do transfers. And a lot of them say matte medium, but I don't have any matte medium, or they say gloss gel medium, which I don't have. And then other places said don't use gel medium, it's too thick. And then I found a couple with Mod Podge, which I have Mod Podge, but the stages in that one were, it would take a few hours to complete that process. So this seems like the easiest. We'll see if it works. I really have no idea if this will transfer. I'm going to use Vallejo Gloss Medium. A lot of different videos said use Golden Matte Medium. And then I saw another video that said matte medium dries milky white. So since this is supposed to be watery and look like they're underwater, I wanted it to be shiny. I did one layer of varnish, and I don't know if you can tell there, because of the silicone, I guess, this painting's very bumpy. And so it might be a little difficult to adhere these. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that you have to do them in reverse. So I'm going to have to flip them around like this. The one thing that I found on several different videos about transfers was some people wet both sides and some people only wet the canvas. So, but it seems like if you don't wet both sides, the paper puckers. And so I'm gonna try it with wetting the canvas and the paper, and we'll see how this goes. Hope it works out. I'm gonna wet the paper. Well, let me do the canvas first. Let's see. Let's figure out about where we want these. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to kind of do this. Kind of put the gel medium, I'm sorry, the gloss medium. Oh boy. This got clogged up. That's not cool. Okay, hopefully that works. Yeah, I'm going to put that kind of where the fish is going to be. And then I have this plastic lid from IKEA from years and years ago, and I'm going to put, I'm not sure how much to put. I literally did not find this information anywhere online, so this might not work at all. But it seems like if you wet both, they marry better. And I'm just rubbing it in place with my, oh, it kind of bent. You know what I think? In order to get it to stick better, I'm going to take a piece of plastic. This way the paper won't peel up as I rub. And this is a roller that I bought to stain a piece of furniture on my deck and never ended up using it. So hopefully this works here. And it might be a good idea to put a book or something under the canvas. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll use this same lid when I'm done. Let's see. I'm gonna make this fish go this way. I'm gonna kind of go like here. Oh, that's a lot. This might be enough to do the fish and the paper. Yeah. And since I can't get it back in the bottle, I'm just gonna spread it out. Just kind of rubbing it on with my fingers. And then smooth it out with the roller. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same lid, I'm going to use it under the painting for some rigidity. Yeah, that's great. You could also, you know, use something like a credit card, or how about this? Got lots of popsicle sticks around. You just want to get good adherence. And then the plastic's got tons of excess glue now. Move that over. You can see, or I can see, the saturation and that the paper is kind of melding with the painting. So what you're supposed to do is wait a minute until it doesn't feel cold to the touch anymore. And then you start to peel a corner and see if you've got a transfer of ink between the images. I can see that this did not adhere. So I'm going to help it along. And it might be that because I already varnished, maybe I shouldn't have varnished first, but we'll find out. I cut away as much white paper as I could, just so I don't have to deal with it later. Apparently there's going to be a long process of rubbing and peeling paper. So this video might stop and start. Let's see. I don't know how long you're supposed to wait. This is totally flying by the seat of my pants. And it might be hard to tell. Nope, it's not transferring yet. It might be hard to tell because this is kind of a dark painting. It does still feel cold to the touch, so let's stop the video and wait a minute and get back to this. Okay, I peeled up one fin and it brought up part of the paper. So let's see if this works. Nope, that's not adhering. Darn it. So some parts are adhering, some parts aren't. Not sure. So this has adhered. You should be able to start peeling up paper. Let's see. So, oh, that didn't stick either. So let's brush that out. You can see where the paper's kind of sticking. The image should be under that paper. And then I'm just going to peel off this parts of this one fish and try and give you a sense of, so you're just removing the fibers and what should be left is the image. But we'll see. Kind of doesn't look like it. It's hard to say. Okay. Rather than have you watch me peel paper, I will come back to this in a minute. Oh, but I can't stop. It's so addicting. No. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, I've been working on this for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And you can see that it doesn't show up that well. So probably needed a more solid image and a darker image. Or, well, I'm not sure. Anyway, some tips. In this section here, I rubbed too hard and I took the transfer right off. So now I'm using a much lighter touch. So probably what I'll have to do is cut that out, make another copy, cut that out, and try and blend that in. I've got a little cup of water here, and here's what I'm doing. I'm rubbing super gently to avoid taking any more of the image off, and it's removing a layer of paper at a time, supposing that there's like 100 layers of paper. And that was just normal laser jet paper that I was using. And then I'm not working on any one area too long. And I'm rubbing, you can kind of see how the paper's balling up. But I'm rubbing very gently. And when it's all done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've been working on this for a while. And here's my insights. Use a darker line, heavier lined image at least, if not sort of a opaque. And in retrospect, I would have cut the image right next to the black line. You can see that there's where I cut, it's basically gone. I can't really rub any more away. It's the color of the paint. You know, you can see the paint through it. And I'm sure if I kept working and working, I could get that line. But if I would have cut it right next to the black line, it wouldn't have mattered. And then this one, I'm, halfway through. It's going to take a while. So the gloss medium does work. You don't have to put layers and layers. Like one video I saw had 3 layers of Mod Podge, and let them dry in between, and then it took this much work to get the paper off anyway. So, lesson learned. Thanks for watching. This is the wrap up to the transfer project, which I will probably never do again. Let me give you a little bit of insight. So I kept working and working. Here's the transfer. You can barely see it. There was one under here, and I got all the paper off of it. This one I need to keep working on. There's still paper on there, and I'll keep working on it. But I had to go to bed last night. So, and then this morning, my fingers aren't sore, but this morning my phone said, we can't recognize your fingerprint. So it did wear off my fingerprint a little bit. Here's what I did. I took the same images, and they were reversed because they were transferred. So you can see here that I can't just put one straight over the one that was already there. I printed this on printer paper, and then I just colored it with, I have watercolor markers. And the colors are a little muddy because the paper, there were color images that were printed in black and white, so there's a lot of gray on the page already. And so when I put yellow over it, for example, it looks gray. Anyway, I'm going to just show you how I already stuck this one down a few minutes ago, and I'm just going to show you what I did. Again, I'm not sure if this is the right way. I have Mod Podge around here somewhere. I can't find it. So here's what I did. And I'm going to keep working on this, and it'll be a little ghost fish in this painting. I'm going to decide where I want this, and then I'm going to do this same thing I did yesterday. I'm using acrylic glass varnish from Vallejo, and I'm going to coat the canvas, coat the back of the paper, and then I'm being pretty liberal. Maybe a little too liberal. And I'll use this to coat the paper too. And you can see I cut out little tiny details and left them attached. And all this excess varnish I can use on the canvas. So I'm not going to cover that fish because I still need to work on the paper. So I'm going to put this fish down, spread that out a little bit. Okay. Put all the tiny little pieces in place. And just brush it in. And I'm going to go get a popsicle stick, and you can see the ink from the markers is coming off. So maybe I should have let the paper dry. It's all an experiment, right? Okay, I'm going to use a popsicle stick to get all the excess out from underneath. Make sure it's nice and flat. All right. And the transfer overall, if you had a very light background, you could do a transfer, but even here, it makes more sense to have an opaque, colorful image rather than a transfer. So hopefully this looks sort of real when I'm done. And I'm already wiping too hard. The paper's coming off a bit. So I'm going to let it go. And there's transferring using gloss acrylic varnish from Vallejo.